Neglect is not always loud. Sometimes it is the silence that follows a child everywhere. These children grow up without guidance, comfort, or protection. No one notices when they stop asking for help. No one sees the fear behind their quiet behavior. Childhood neglect plants seeds of insecurity that grow silently, shaping how a person sees the world, love, and themselves. Neglected children often learn one lesson early: they are on their own. When cries are ignored, emotions become dangerous. They stop expressing pain because it brings no relief. Over time, the child adapts, not by healing, but by shutting down. This survival skill may protect them once, but it becomes a prison later in life. The absence of care rewires the developing brain. Stress hormones remain high, trust pathways weaken, and emotional regulation never fully forms. These children may struggle to understand their own feelings as adults. Anger feels confusing, sadness feels endless, and joy feels unfamiliar. Trauma doesn't scream. It quietly changes the brain's architecture. Many neglected children grow into adults who appear strong. They are independent, self-reliant, and rarely ask for help. But beneath that strength lies exhaustion. Hyper-independence is not confidence. It is fear of being disappointed again. They learn that relying on others leads to pain, so they rely only on themselves. Love becomes complicated for those raised without it. Intimacy feels unsafe. Kindness feels suspicious. They may push people away or cling too tightly, afraid of abandonment. Relationships become battlefields between longing and fear. What they truly want is connection, but their past taught them that closeness often leads to loss. Neglect teaches children that their needs are unimportant. As adults, they struggle to set boundaries or recognize their worth. They may tolerate mistreatment because it feels familiar. Pain becomes normal. This is not weakness, it is conditioning. The brain repeats what it knows, even when it hurts. Many neglected children develop an inner critic that never sleeps. Every mistake feels catastrophic. Perfection becomes a survival strategy. If they are flawless, maybe they'll be noticed. Maybe they'll be loved. But no achievement ever feels enough, because the wound they're trying to heal is emotional, not external. Neglect is invisible to outsiders. There are no broken bones, no dramatic stories. Teachers may see a quiet child. Parents may see obedience. Society praises them for being easy. But inside, the child feels unseen. Being invisible hurts just as deeply as being abused. As adults, neglected children often struggle with identity. They were never mirrored or validated, so they don't know who they are. They adapt to others, change personalities, and lose themselves in relationships. Without guidance, self-discovery becomes confusing and painful. Emotional numbness is a common result of neglect. Feeling nothing is safer than feeling pain. But numbness blocks joy as well. Life becomes flat, colorless, distant. Many don't realize they are traumatized. They only know something feels missing inside them. Neglected children often blame themselves. They assume they were unlovable or undeserving. This belief follows them into adulthood, shaping self-esteem and choices. Trauma lies, but it lies convincingly. Healing begins when they realize the neglect was never their fault. The body remembers what the mind forgets. Anxiety, chronic tension, and unexplained fatigue are common. Trauma lives in the nervous system, not just memory. Neglected children grow into adults who are always alert, always bracing for disappointment, even in safe environments. Many survivors seek validation through work, success, or helping others. Being useful feels safer than being vulnerable, but constantly proving worth leads to burnout. The child inside still waits to be chosen, not for what they do, but for who they are. Healing from neglect is not about forgetting the past. It's about learning what was never taught: emotional awareness, self-compassion, and trust. This process is slow and uncomfortable, but with support, neglected children can learn to feel safe inside themselves. Therapy often reveals grief beneath the trauma. Grief for the childhood that never existed. Grief for the care that should have been given. This mourning is necessary. You cannot heal what you refuse to acknowledge. Reparenting becomes a powerful tool. Learning to give oneself comfort, structure, and kindness changes everything. The adult becomes the protector the child never had. This is not easy, but it is possible. Neglect does not define a person's future. Awareness breaks cycles. When survivors understand their patterns, they gain choice. Trauma may shape the beginning of the story, but it does not control the ending. Many neglected children become deeply empathetic adults. Their pain sharpens their understanding of others. When healed, the sensitivity becomes a strength rather than a burden. What once hurt them can become a source of wisdom. Healing is not linear. There are setbacks, triggers, and moments of doubt. But progress exists in small steps. Choosing healthier relationships, speaking needs aloud, and allowing oneself to rest without guilt. Neglected children were never broken. They adapted to survive. Their silence was strength, not weakness. With understanding and support, they can reclaim their voice. Healing begins the moment their story is finally heard.